welcome to week 5 of the 75 Hard. We are going and diving straight in with how I feel emotionally and mentally because I'm still feeling not necessarily shitty, for lack of better words, but like in the drain a bit. The same video is getting traction and it's getting like significant amount of traction, and I posted a secondary video like explaining the problem with asking questions in the form of assumptions. And that comment section is also filled with like a bunch of, I'm going to be frank, men mansplaining to me about how asking if something is a purity ring is not wrong. I personally think it is, because you're asking in a way if someone is a virgin or has chosen to follow chastity and follow abstinence of sex in the eyes of the Lord. Which assumes a lot of things about people. It assumes that they follow Christianity. It assumes that they follow purity culture. It assumes like so many things about people just in the form of a very simple question. And basically everyone's saying that I'm being over dramatic and that just a bunch of other stuff that's uncalled for, really. I know I shouldn't let it affect me, and like I get so agitated with myself about how I let it affect me, and I think that's what affects me more, is the fact that I'm getting mad that I'm letting comments affect me. But also I've really noticed recently, especially while working on like more than a full-time schedule, if anything an overtime schedule with work, I really need to go and have my psyche redone. I've been off of medication for about half a year now, and I can just see myself like not really being able to regulate my emotions that well. And it's not necessarily that I'm like, oh, medication will fix everything, but it's like while I'm getting myself used to a crazy schedule like this, where I'm putting in 60 hours of work a week on top of doing the 75 hard, and just in general dealing with other stuff in my personal life, like I just feel like I need to be reanalyzed. And plus my last analysis was in 2020 and we're now in 2024, and I feel like a lot of things change with people mentally, so it doesn't hurt to be reanalyzed every couple of years. And I have to remind myself that it's okay to want help, but not necessarily rely on drugs for the help in like a bad way. I don't know how else to explain that. And I feel like I'm literally about to cry because I don't want to cry. I don't know. I just feel like overwhelmed. I literally hate crying in the first place, let alone doing it in front of a camera right now. I haven't had a breakdown in a moment, so I'm just gonna turn the camera off and let myself have a little breakdown. I'll be right back. So I kind of internally realized that I love being a transparent person, so while I'm kind of doing this, I actually don't want to turn off the camera, even if it makes me very uncomfortable, because I know that I'll grow from... I think my biggest struggle right now is that I feel very alone. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I'm not begging for people to be like, you're not alone, you're not alone. You can't help but feel alone when you can't build a sense of community because you don't have time outside of your job. You literally don't have time to exist outside of who you are in your job. And if you live alone, like I do, you don't have anyone to go home to. And it's like, yeah, I can FaceTime my family, but when I come back from the gym, they're typically getting ready for bed, so I can't even call them. And it's like, I have so much personal stuff that I need to get done that I don't even have time to really sit down and chat with someone for even 30 minutes. But it's like, you can't help but feel that way when your whole entire life is your job, and you move somewhere for a job and you don't have time to exist outside of your job to build a sense of community in the place that you live. And it's like, even if I did have this job in my hometown, I feel like I would be feeling the same exact way. The only change would be that I would have my dog with me at night, which honestly may be a world of change that I do need. Oh my God, I literally sound like I need to go to a mental institution. Like, And as you can tell, literally none of this is about like social media at all. It's just that is building a sense of anger in me, I guess you could say, that wouldn't be there. And a lot of people would probably just combat that with, like, you brought that shit on yourself, which I did. But at the same time, you have to think to yourself, why do people feel the need to be so rude and so ugly to random people on the internet who are just simply sharing their experiences? Like, I created a video about how someone thought my clawed ring was a purity ring, and I made obviously a funny face in the video. When that scenario actually happened in real life, I didn't act like that at all. It was like I internally was like, what in the world? Like, because you just don't ask someone that, as I have previously brought up in previous clips of this long form video that I will be editing. It can be difficult because I want to work in social media marketing, and for that reason I'm doing the whole entire content creation thing to at least build a portfolio, if you will. That way I can show, while I'm not in social media marketing right now, I can show businesses like, these are the numbers I was able to produce just with my name. If I work for a business that already has an established name, like, who knows how much success I can have as your person doing social media marketing. But it just gets difficult sometimes because you're kind of forced to put yourself out there for that reason. When you're building a portfolio or trying to build a portfolio, and it's up to public comment and public hate for that reason too, because we just live in a sick, demented, sad world, where misery loves company, unfortunately, and everyone who is down themselves wants to bring people down with them. I know this was a really long rant, and I apologize to editing me, because I know that I'll probably be crying editing this because it'll bring back emotions in my head. I guess I kept the camera rolling because I want other people to know that other people feel like this too, and other people have moments of just absolutely breaking down. Not necessarily for no reason, but just because there's so many things happening at once that it's almost like overstimulation in a way, and you can't help but cry. I'm literally one of two ways. I either cry or scream from overstimulation. 9 times out of 10, if I'm out in public, I get angry, whereas when I'm alone, I cry. Or if I'm with someone I'm very comfortable with. So recently, unfortunately, when I've been getting overwhelmed in my job, I've been getting internally frustrated, which I feel like just hasn't been healthy for me overall. 2 days later, feel significantly better. But the real reason I'm recording is because I finished my second book of the 75 Hard, The War of Art. And here is what I think about it. Literally in the last 10 pages, I was like, I feel like I'm being edged constantly in this book without ever getting to a point, if you will. But literally in the last 7 pages, it did that. I highlighted one thing at the very end that I kind of want to share with everyone, which is creative work is not a selfish act or a bid for attention on the part of the actor, which I think is really important to remember when you're doing anything, especially content creation, because I feel like a lot of people think that content creation is a really selfish thing to do, when in reality you just want to entertain in a way, but not necessarily you're putting it out there to get big. You're putting it out there because you're called to do it almost. And it's something that you love, which brings up another quote at the end that I want to share as well. Of any activity you do, ask yourself, if I were the last person on earth, would I still do it? If you're all alone on the planet, a hierarchical orientation makes no sense. There's no one to impress. So if you'd still pursue this activity, congratulations, you're doing it territorially. So it talks about hierarchy versus territory, and the difference in approaching certain arts that way, and it gave the example of Arnold Schwarzenegger. No matter what, he's going to go to the gym. Even if he's the last person on earth, he's still going to go and work out at the gym. And so that's how I feel with content creation, if I'm being honest. Like, if there was absolutely no one in the world, I'd still be recording myself on a silly little camera and editing it, because I think it's so much fun. Like, I don't do it for attention. I don't do it to be in higher classes or heighten my ego or whatever. I genuinely do it because I just love sharing stories, even if it's sharing with my later self, if that makes sense. And it's something that I can look back on. And that's a lot of the reason that I do content creation, which a lot of people may think it's a weird way to say you do it, mostly because like content creation is such of a public facing art form, if you will. But it is literally something that I just love the process of. Like, even when I think I was 8 years old, I got a different digital camera. I recorded a whole entire like Christmas haul and literally did all of the edit work and then just deleted it, because that's just what I thought was fun. Like, I thought it was fun to pretend to be a little YouTuber in front of my camera and not do anything with the footage, but I want to put it somewhere that isn't on a cloud or something that in the future I can easily go back and look at. The War of Art also really likes to talk about resistance and pushing through any resistance. And ego is a really big subtopic as well. And it's just something that really opened my eyes a lot. But I really appreciated the read. It was a really quick read. It's 165 pages. So I literally got through it in 16 days, maybe a little bit less than 16 days. But yeah, it was so good. Highly recommend The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I got chia seed pudding on the bottom. Okay, well, I'm supposed to leave in 3 minutes, and that's obviously not going to happen. But I'll get back to y'all, I guess, later today on how I'm feeling and how I made myself really feel better. And believe it or not, it's because of the 75 hard. Somebody tell me, do I look more friendly than normal today? I also had just my sports bra on for a majority of my workout, but I've had only my sports bra on in workouts before. Hello, words, workouts before. And people haven't come up and talked to me. But today, 2 people came up and talked to me and just chit-chatted with me at the gym. And it was really nice. I even made like a work connection more approachable, if you will. But yeah, tomorrow is the big day where I work a really long shift. I'm going in at 9:30, but I'm gonna leave my house at 9. Get ready for work from 8 to 9 and do my outdoor walk from 7 to 8. And then basically have a full day of work, no breaks. And then right after I clock out, go straight to the gym to hit my 2 workouts for the day. I know, a lot. I will get it done. I will. I also think tomorrow I'm gonna do my Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl. I think that'll just be easier for me. I swear I go grocery shopping every single week and I spend roughly like $50 to $75 on groceries. And then by the middle of the week, I'm like, where are all the groceries? Except they're all like frozen food. And it's like longer meals that I need to prepare that I just don't have time to prepare. Oh, I forgot. I said I was totally gonna eat some of this ravioli tonight. I'll have to see how much fat content I have left in the day. And based on that will be based on if I eat ravioli tonight or not. But ravioli actually sounds really good for tonight. Okay, one, I know this lighting is terrible. Don't blame me. Okay, it auto-corrected itself a bit. I cannot believe I am 5 full weeks through the 75 hard. Like, I'm literally about to hit the halfway point at some point this week, because it's like 75 hard is 7 weeks almost, or is 10 weeks almost 11. But I am so proud of myself because one of my hardest days I fully passed with flying colors, on my diet, on my 10-page read, on my 2 workouts, so on my water. And so I'm just really happy about that with myself, and I'm so proud of myself because I know that I was really nervous about it, like literally since I realized that day for work with the 75 hard. It's a really long day at work. I don't remember if I made a video for how I felt after, and if not, do you ever just go into something not with extreme pessimistic like thought processes, but like subtle pessimistic, and then like you go through the whole entire day and you just feel surprisingly so rejuvenated? Because that is literally what happened to me on Thursday. Like, it was this talk and also picking these people up from the airport, and just like they were so kind to me. And not that people aren't kind here, but it's just like it was a nice change of pace. Like, the things that we were talking about and the topic of discussion for the talk and everything as a whole. I realized that as I look away, it literally changes the lighting, which is weird. But it's just something that I realized that I literally was so grateful for, even though I originally had like more negative thoughts about it leading up to it. But yeah, literally week 5 is done. That is crazy. I am 35 days through. You can see my Apple Watch tan showing up on my wrist again, which shows that summer is coming, even though it's literally supposed to be a high of 60 tomorrow, which is crazy since the end of the week, the weekend is supposed to be like mid 70s, lower 80s. If you enjoyed, do all the normal stuff, like, comment, subscribe if you want. I'm not pressuring you though. And yeah, bye.